All right, it's 5 o'clock. It's time for Watch Me Work. We are here. We are here. We are here. You are here, and we're so pleased. We're going to do what we do every time we get together. We're going to work for 20 minutes, and then we're going to talk with you about your work, your creative process. And while we don't quite have the bandwidth for you to present your work, whatever that work may be, we do have plenty of time for you to talk shop and for us to talk about your work and your creative process. And should you want to do so, who's
Yeah,
going to do it? Is Zoe, is Amrita from the New Work Development Department at the Public Theater? Are you going to tell us?
yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Watch Me Work. After 20 minutes of work session, we'll go ahead and get a queue of questions going. In order to ask your question, please use the raise your hand function that can be found in the React button at the bottom column of your Zoom screen. And from there, we will get a queue of names, and then we will call on you to please ask your question.
It's just that easy. It's just that easy. Okay, so thank you. Oh, we give thanks to the New Work Development at the Public Theater, and we give thanks to HowlRound. They have been shepherding us and encouraging us all these many 15 years plus that we've been doing Watch Me Work. So we give thank yous to them, folks. And let's get started. All right, all right, all right. Here we go with the Q&A part of the day. Thinking as we wait for maybe someone to ask a question or raise their hand. Somebody,
Yes, just as a friendly reminder, if you have a question, please use raise your hand function in your React button at the bottom of your Zoom screen.
and while we wait for that, to relate something, heard today I was in class and someone was saying, oh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? You know, there's a lot of that going on. And
Yeah. Yes, Crystal, please unmute and ask your question.
I'm going to finish what I was saying.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Sophie was still
Oh, sorry,
talking.
Zoe.
It's okay. I was breathing, I think. Just a suggestion that when you wonder like what you want to do, what you're going to do, what you should be doing, I always think of we could do our very nearest duty to the very best of our ability. So sometimes when you have a lot of things on your mind, you can just focus on that one thing that is the very nearest thing that you can do, that is your duty, and do it to the very best of your ability. And maybe that'll answer the question that Crystal has. Hey, Crystal, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm very well.
Oh, good.
What's happening? What's happening for you today?
Well, I am working on my play for my commission.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It is uh it is about four Black soldiers during World War I
Mm-hmm.
in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I have. I have about close to 40 pages.
Fantastic.
But I don't have um a map, an outline. It feels like this process for this particular play is that of a mosaic where it's just pieces, patches, scenes, monologues, um, and things are kind of sort of coming together, but not really in a way that I feel is most efficient. And I think it's because I have a hard time. I've been doing so much research that I haven't really had time to do plot story um discipline, imagination work. If that I don't know if that makes sense, but so I guess my question is um when you have so much research and you have your characters, but story doesn't seem to be coming, what do you do as far as like I have outlines, but they're like partial outlines because there are gaps. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get like more story in.
Well, great. That's a great question. So the guys, the four soldiers are they're doing things. They're talking. I'm guessing, right? You have 40
Mhm.
pages. But so what you have is making you pleased, feel good, right?
Sure.
Okay. And what you don't have yet is causing some kind of anxiety. Is that correct?
Oh, a lot of it, yeah.
Oh, a lot of it.
Mhm.
A lot of like, oh no, what do I do now?
Yes.
Do your Right, do your closest duty to the very best of your ability. So, right, this would fall under that. Um, Maybe talk to the characters. I mean, you can do a whole bunch of things. You have all these strategies, Crystal, because you've been writing so beautifully for such a long time.
Thank you.
Um, you can just like keep adding to it every day. I mean, you can just say, maybe this isn't one where I write an outline per se. I mean, you can sit and write an outline, certainly. That is an option. You can sit there and say, okay, what happens next? And I'm going to stop sort of accumulating manuscript pages, and I'm going to sit and I'm going to, for a couple of days, write an outline. You can do that. That's one option. You can be okay, sort of get more comfortable with this collage way of writing, which sounds like fun, and just say, okay, every day I'm going to write for, I don't know, 1 hour and just add to the collage. You could do that. You could sort of talk to the characters and talk to them and go, hey, what's happening? What happens at the end of this play, for example, at the end of this act?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the three strategies. But I think the most important thing is not, am I going to choose the right one, the right strategy to work through this, but am I just going to keep showing up and adding to my work time, not necessarily the manuscript pages. You might want to pause and just work on the outline for a couple of days,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah.
Does one of those uh tactics sound more interesting right now?
Um, um, yes, yes. Two of them.
Okay, great.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't have to articulate, but just, sort of ruminate on them and see like, okay, this one could work for me, this one could work for me, you know?
yeah.
And okay, you seem a little, yeah, how you doing? What?
Well, because I'm showing up every day. Well,
Great.
I have to. And I'm the collage part works. It just is hard to, it doesn't feel as like consistent. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So, in the sense that like, sorry, I'm having trouble articulating myself.
That's okay.
Right. Uh, so I'm showing up, but I feel like the ideas are not showing up in the way that I would like it to, or in the um um amount that I would like it to. Like I've been trying to give myself the goal, okay, let's do 20 pages a week. And so I got 20 pages last week. I have 10 pages this week. I have another 10 pages to go. I'm working a couple of hours, actually several hours a day but in that several hours, it's like distractions and trying to focus and trying to get it, you know what I mean? So I just, I'm, I, I know at the end of this, you say like, I dare you to write a crappy first draft. I'm like, I'm taking that challenge. But it's just, trying to uh, get the flow of the creative part, the story part, and the characters seem to be, moving, but I don't know if I'm catching up with their groove.
Yeah. I think that's really, really well. Yeah, and maybe you don't catch up with their group. I mean, I think it was very interesting. You said, the stuff is showing up, but not in the way that I want it to. So that's kind of, I think maybe it's showing up. It's showing up maybe not in the way that I want it to, and that's okay.
Mm,
I'm just gonna keep going until I get to something that I can call the end, and then I'm gonna see what I have, you know?
okay.
Okay. And try one or two of those strategies that seems to resonate with you that we just talked about. Um, and 20 pages a week, that's great. So how many pages is that a day for you? What is your work week? Is it 7 days or is it
6.
great? Okay, so how many pages is that?
Uh, that's like what, maybe 1.5, 2 pages a day, but it varies.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, that's wrong math. That's not the right math. 20, oh, three. Did you
Okay,
say 3? Yeah, thank you.
great.
Thank
Great. I know.
you.
Great. Okay. That's wonderful. So just keep plugging away and knowing that, come on, you've been here before.
Yes,
Been here where the flow doesn't match your excitement, or the flow over matches your excitement, or you've been here when the levees break and what are you going to do and you get the sandbags. I mean, you've been in all these situations,
yes.
it's just important to just keep showing up for it. And how long is it going to be about?
I was hoping 90 pages, but I think it'll probably be more, only because there are like so many characters, and
Great.
the story just seems very swollen,
Great.
very big.
Great. Fantastic. Okay, just keep
Thank
showing up.
you.
Just keep showing up, Crystal. Come on, you've been here. We have faith.
Yeah, but every now and then I need a little SOP to just
Oh, come on. That's why I'm here.
inject
That's
some.
why we show up. That's why we've known each other for like, I don't know, however many years, like 20 years. It's becoming embarrassing. Your children are in college already now. It's great. Okay, my darling. It's always good to hear from you, Crystal.
Thank you.
Hey.
Wonderful. Thank you, Crystal. Lisa, hello. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Hey, Lisa. How you doing, girl?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. I'm doing well. It's good to see you.
Hi, everybody. I was in New York recently. Sorry I missed you all.
We missed you too.
I was just thinking about something that Crystal was saying, just briefly, and I don't know if this helps at all, but sometimes it helps if you leave and go somewhere else and write and stay outside of your room for a while. I don't know whether or not you've ever tried that. So, but I know it's helped me a lot. And it only because I was in an alumni workshop yesterday and it came up again. So it was something I was thinking about.
Alums of what, Lisa?
Northwestern.
Oh, cool. Oh, very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So we were doing sort of a really interesting format where they pick a topic and then everybody does breakout groups. And it was about being creative in times of chaos.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Maybe some of you can relate to that. I don't know, but there was some really good stuff being
cool.
about, and that's one of my mechanisms for doing it.
Cool.
But not what I wanted to say. But I thought maybe that would help, so I threw it out.
I just have one of my mind that is there a distance? Because like Maya Angelou famously went to a hotel room. There are people who famously go places. Does it have to be like out of your room, like away from your desk, like into the next room, or do you have to like go to coffee shop? When does it become another place? What in your experience?
For me personally, okay, I found out that I have something called spatial intelligence. Apparently, there's 9 different kinds of intelligences, and it's how people react to them. It's done according to this professor at Harvard, according to what I learned yesterday in the seminar, and I'm very spatially oriented, and different people have different kinds of intelligence. And I forget what it's called. It's called something like the intelligence checklist or something like that. So the facilitator pointed out that I'm very spatially oriented. I love to go different places. I do not write in coffee shops. First of all, I've worked in way too many restaurants to know that I'm occupying a table for a $350 cappuccino, and I feel an overwhelming sense of guilt about that, so I don't do that. But I did rent a writing space, and that helped. And I also like to travel, so I don't know if that's useful.
But this again, I was like, and so did you have something? Yes.
Yes, I did. So I was in New York, and I'm seeing plays, and I'm reading plays, and I went to the drama bookstore, and I bought a whole bunch of plays, and yeah, it was great. And yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw Eureka Day in a production that was done here, right? Which is what, a 5-character play in one set, done in 100 minutes. And I'm thinking, like, is that the trend? Is that a thing? Are we all doing like long 1-act plays now with 5 characters in a single set? Is because there's just so, I mean, even like I saw maybe Happy Ending, which is what, another 5-character, very elaborate, but one set play. Or a musical, and I'm thinking, like, is that the trend? Because I admire it, but it doesn't interest me too much as a writer. So, what? I mean, do you think that's it, or will anybody look at stuff that's longer? Will anybody look at a 2-act play anymore?
Yeah, that's a great. That's well. I think maybe another way of looking at the question is, or you maybe answered it already. That format, if it might be the trend, it might not be the trend. It doesn't interest you as much as some other shapes, right? I mean, I think that's what's interesting. I mean, think back. I know you weren't here. I wasn't either. 1600s Shakespeare 5-act play had to be about kings or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So people are like, well, I got this 2-act play. I have this 17-act play, and it's not about kings. And I have this 1-act play, and it's just a solo show. You know what I'm saying? Will anybody like it back in 1600? They're like, probably not. But or maybe they got done too. They just didn't get done often enough for us to remember them. Or maybe they got done a lot and they got, who knows what happened. The most important thing, I think, is what interests you. And I do think there's a place for, you know, a 2-act play with 3 characters, or I think the most important thing is what interests you. I do think, though, that people look at what's done and say, that's what I'm going to do. I think people do follow trends. I think people go, okay, well, or I'm gonna do 5 characters, 1 set, and we'll have 1 word as the title, because that's what's the fashion. A la mode isn't just about pie and ice cream. You know what I'm saying? So of the fashion, it's what people follow. I do think there's a great variety, though, of works that are being accepted and done and produced. So I would suggest you keep writing. If you're leaning toward a 1-act play or 90-minute play, a full-length play in 90 minutes with 5 characters in 1 set, then write that. Definitely write that. And maybe even call it 1 word. It has a 1-word title. Hooray. Not that title, but another title. And if you're leaning towards something different from that, please write it. Yeah. Look, Kimmy D says Chekhov comes to mind. There you go. Chekhov. Def.
Okay. That's what I was thinking I wanted to do anyway, but I thought, maybe you need a reality check, Lisa. Maybe this is hard enough. Maybe you're making it harder.
Yeah, you know, Lisa, come on. Come on. How was the alumni conference? Come on, Lisa. Come on. No, please. I mean, if I would feel like if at the end, if at the end of your writing period every day you can say, I'm writing what I want to write. I'm writing what I love. I'm writing what makes my heart sing. You know, I'm not just following the trend. But if following the trend gives you joy, then please follow the trend. You know, so it's not an either or, it's a both. It's both. It's both. So, and hopefully there's joy in that. Reality check. Yeah, what is it? What is it? Oh, hold on, I'll find the passage as we go to the next question. I will find the passage and I will read it to you, Lisa, what I have in mind right now. So let's go
Okay,
to
thank you.
the question. Who's next?
Great, thank you, Lisa. Hi, Sarah. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, thank you. You know what, I was so lucky several weeks ago. Remember, I'm the one who ended up doing a writing practice. Okay, so the good news is I'm no longer struggling to write. The other news is that I have 36 pages of 2 characters talking, and one is a uterus, and it was really novel and fun and interesting. But I'm afraid like it's either going to be a whole play of this or it's got to like be trimmed back to like 1 scene. And so how do you know when to stop having an exchange between 2 characters?
So Sarah, hold on. Well, I don't think I'm the only one laughing. We were laughing with love. So couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, you were like, I don't have any time to write because I got to feed the cat and I got to exercise. I mean, these are all valid. And this is not a scratch your neck moment. This is like a good job. This is a pat yourself on the back moment because you really worked through that. And now you're writing and now you have some pages and you seem excited. And even your background, I love this pillar, this room, this place you're in, which is gorgeous. And you have a talking uterus. And you're asking me how to shut things down? What? Don't shut them down, Sarah. let the uterus, honey, you come on. When the uterus starts to talk, let the uterus speak. Oh my God, it goes on for like 30 pages, 50 more pages. Let the uterus have its, are those the right pronouns? Day, her day, her night, and her afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anytime.
That's kind of all I needed was like,
Anytime. Let her take over. Let the
Going.
uterus take over. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. We're being recorded, and this will be used, I'm sure. And let's quote. I found the quote for you, Lisa. Hold on. So it's Romans 2:12, 12:2, and anybody who has issues with the Bible, just put them aside for a minute. We're going to read this. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, Lisa, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
love that.
Girl, come on. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewings of your mind. So, okay? Okay. And let the uterus, and that, it came from the great uterus. The one that gave birth to us all, right? Okay. Who's next?
Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, Denise, say it out loud, Denise, Delissa. Say it out loud, Delissa. Go ahead. Go on.
Give that uterus a bullhorn and teeth.
Yeah.
And that is a perfect way also. Delissa, I know that you're next in the queue.
I am. First of all, it's really great to see everyone. I have had such an amazing journey, and I just want to thank you for encouraging me when I was too afraid to really speak up the first time I came and several times after. I wrote my first draft of a play, and I did it in 2 days, and it was a hot mess. But I just wanted to share what I learned from it, and now I know what it is. Well, that's a lie. It's going to present itself to me, and I trust that. But I do have now, I know it's a 90-minute piece. I know there's way more than 5 characters. And I guess I just wanted to share that because it feels good to be in myself and to have that confidence again, because I was feeling really wobbly and fractured and unsure, which is not a good feeling as an artist. And so I've swum that upstream and let that spawn. But in doing my research and forming this, I've come across an article that was written many years ago about my subject, and it's saying exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
So how do I navigate that? I mean, it was done more than 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's like a scholarly article.
it is a slice of life article in the New York Times. It's an opinion. It's not an opinion piece. It tells a story, and it's literally my story.
So okay, Delissa, is your story in your work? Is that your story?
Yes.
It would happen. It's something that happened to you.
Yes.
Okay, great. Because right. So someone who can tell a story today, not to minimize what you're talking about. A woman tells a story about how she walked in Central Park and got some ice cream. And then 20 years later, a woman tells a story about how she walks in Central Park and gets some ice cream. She's still allowed to tell that story, I would suggest, because it happened to her.
Okay.
And because you said a minute ago, you said, and now my story, it was a hot mess, and now I know what it's about, but I lie. It will present itself, right? That's what you did say. So actually, you don't know if your story is the same as that person's story who wrote it 20 years ago in the New York Times. So your story, it sounds like, is inviting you to maybe get more specific. And that story 20 years ago in the New York Times presented itself. So you go, okay, it's similar. We both walked into Central Park and got some ice cream. And now it's also very, very different because of what specifically happened in your story.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I received that. What's really fascinating, the time of my play is the exact same, like it's the exact same year. So it's almost like we both were in that same place at the same time, which is fascinating. But I still ask that same question. Is it, yeah, I'm a little bit confused.
Well, I mean,
It's still my story, but
yeah, it's still your story, and you didn't pretend to live this thing. It's okay. So, well, I mean, maybe look at it this way. I mean, before you had this, it's like Sarah, before you had this wonderful experience of writing your play and all this good stuff, you were having a different kind of experience where you were having difficulty working, right?
I was, yes.
Okay, so we could say that anything that was happening to you in that time of, let's call it difficulty, was used to say, don't write, do something else. You were feeling very, like you say, wobbly and uncertain, just to paraphrase. Okay, and now that you've written your play and you feel very happy about it, if this were a dream, I would say, and because it is, I would say, yet again, you found something to make yourself wobbly and uncertain,
Oh, okay. Word.
right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so like Marcus Aurelius says, what is in the way is the way. So maybe embrace that. Is there a way to make that a part of the play?
Yes.
Okay, right. That's always the answer. Is there a way to make whatever going on part of the show? And the answer is yes, because it is part of the show. Because that's why it's here,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Yes.
So instead of resisting, it's not part of the show. The show is right in this frame. No, actually the show is right. Okay.
Okay.
So make it part of the show.
That's an excellent
Okay.
suggestion. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And
Thank you
check
so
back
much.
in with us.
I shall.
Meet up next time so we can cheer you on.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. There you go. And give the uterus a bullhorn.
A bullhorn and teeth.
A bullhorn and teeth, you said? There
And
you go.
teeth.
Oh, teeth. Oh, shit. And teeth. Like T-E-E-T. I thought you said T like sip. Oh, yeah. And, give her back her teeth, man.
Woo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Delisa.
You're
Hi,
welcome. Thank
Heather.
you.
Hi, Heather. Feel free to unmute and ask your question.
Hello. It's my first time here. Thank you for having me. It's great. I'm doing a longer play. It's a
Okay.
3-act, and it is an adaptation of a classic novel.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sort of just about at the end of the second act, and obviously I know where it's all going because I'm doing an adaptation. As I'm working on, in detail on a scene in this end of the second act, what I'm finding is that because it's now quite long, I'm wondering if I'm losing some of the sense of the rhythm of the whole piece,
Mm-hmm.
the kind of flow of it, because normally my practice is I read up until the scene that I'm working on, so I can sort of get the sense of momentum. But because now it's quite long, I can't do that anymore. It would just take me too long. So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts about how do you, when you're doing quite detailed work on a scene that in a longer play, you can't just read the whole thing to sort of get your sense of where you are exactly. How do you sort of orient yourself as to where you are in the play?
Right. That's a great question. And I really appreciate, Heather, that you do say that you're writing a longer piece, maybe not 5 characters with one set. Yay. That's a great question. A couple of things, I mean, to sort of build on a strategy that you already employ, right? You like to read the thing. I heard that another great writer, Joyce Carol Oates, she reads, that's very cool, very cool. She's amazing. Maybe you could just start reading the scene. So employ that strategy, just, so that you can spend most of your writing time writing and not rereading. So that's something. Just sort of change up your strategy, change up your practice a little bit to accommodate where you are right now, right? Other thing you can do in addition to that is trust. Trust. That's another thing you can do. Just say, you know what? I'm just gonna write what I can today. I don't have to read the whole thing to see if it works. I'm just gonna trust that if I start at the beginning of the scene and read it, I'll have enough information, fuel, encouragement, foundation to finish this scene where I'm doing, or this suite of scenes where I'm doing very detailed work. Um, uh, the other thing to do, well, when you get, how close are you to the end? You're in act, you said.
End of Act 2. And it's a
So
3-act, yeah.
it's a 3-act, right? With 2 intermissions.
I haven't even figured that one out. Possibly.
Okay, no, I'm just asking because, just curious. Cool. Okay. Well, I would say just start at the beginning of the scene and read it through and spend more time. Don't get too mired in the details. This is draft 1, you said?
Hmm.
Yeah. So don't get too caught up in the details too much.
Mhm.
Save that really fine detail work for for the second draft, maybe, because in an adaptation you might not even need the scenes you're writing right now. I'm just
Yeah,
to
that's true.
just to throw it out there. Done many adaptations. You'd be surprised. Oh my gosh, I don't need that because it was a novel and now it's a play. It's 3-act. I mean, just so save the very small detailed work for a little later on when you're sure you're going to need that scene or you're more sure, right? That's
Yeah.
all. That's all.
Mhm.
Sketch like, Van Gogh. Sketch, and get through to the end. Pick up the pace a little bit.
Okay.
Pick up the pace a little bit, especially if you have a source material, a wonderful novel that you're working on. Okay.
That's
Do you have an
great.
outline?
Yes.
Great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Pick up the pace, I'd say.
Thank you. That's really helpful.
You're welcome, Heather. Great question.
Thanks.
Great question.
Great. Thank you, Heather, and welcome. Hi, Kimmy. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, everybody. I've missed you
Kim.
all so much. It's
Hey,
nice to
Kimmy.
see you all. This isn't really a question. I just wanted to say that I'm getting emotional. I don't know why this always happens when I talk to you people. I was in Edinburgh this year and I did my show called On the Fringe of Suicidal Tendencies. And I didn't make it a trauma dump. It was more, how did I get sad in the first place, right? Because I already did a play about that. And what I did not expect was somebody coming up to me when I was flyering and tell me that their son committed suicide. What I did not expect was somebody coming up to me and saying that they were worried about somebody in their family because they were suicidal. And I just wanted to remind us all that when we get bogged down with, syntax and direction and whatever we get frustrated with, we have no idea how our art affects each other and how it moves each other. And I thought I was writing a funny show without much trauma at all. But because it opened up, I mean, I made a safe space, people opened up to me. And I just wanted everybody to remember how important all your art is, how important it is when you put your words down on the page, how much it means to other people. You might be all frustrated because, oh, I didn't put the commas right, or, this, I can't get the, I can't get the order, or whatever we're all complaining about, all valid, don't get me wrong. But just know at the end, your product is so amazing and it will move and change and alter thoughts and hearts and crack people open in ways you didn't didn't recognize or think possible. So, and that's what you all have done for me when you've shared things, especially you, Suzan-Lori, because I've read your stuff. It's just so powerful what we do, and we can't take ourselves for granted. We're really fucking amazing people. I just want to say that.
You're wonderful, Kimmy. Thank you for reminding us of that. You are completely right. I think, the arts is a service industry, and we're also serving ourselves, you know. It's a loving service industry. Thank you for reminding. It sounds like you had a wonderful time in Edinburgh.
I did. I had some fits and starts because, I'm 4'11" and my ceiling in the place was this high, and the fire marshal shut us down because there was not enough room. So I had to move a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
But my biggest room, my biggest audience was 14. My smallest was 2.
Uh-huh.
I never did the same show twice.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it was just to people, like 2 people spoke Italian and I could tell I was speaking too fast. So I slowed down and I threw in some, you know, broken Italian words and and then other people from Austria, they got all my jokes and they had a better handle on English. And then it was just a very different show every day. But I proved to myself at my ripe old age of 63, almost 64, that I can memorize 45, 50 minutes of material. And I was really, the whole thing was really illuminating and confidence building, and I was really stunned. But the people that opened up to me to tell me that, these personal things, that I think surprised me the most. And it reminded me how important I am as a communicator of the heart. My job is.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I think we forget that sometimes, because we're so worried about putting the things down properly, and, we care so much about our work that we forget how talented we are.
Yeah, and I do think, just I think that the powers that be, if you will, encourage us to forget.
Yeah.
Encourage us to forget, and then in turn we encourage each other to forget, which is one of the main reasons why I show up here and we show up here together every Monday that we possibly can.
It's true.
We can remember ourselves together.
I love you all so much, and I'm really so grateful. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Well, we're happy you're here, sweetheart.
Thank
It's 6
you.
o'clock. It's 6 o'clock.
Look at that.
Are we gonna be back next week? We're gonna be back next week.
We are, yes, we're back next Monday, October 6th, our 1st of October.
Yay! Okay, October. Okay, folks, we will see you next week here.
Thank you.
Great week. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.